Hey there, everybody. This is Don Evans for WatchReport.com, and today we're going to be taking a first look at the Armida A-10 chronograph. This is a 42mm case. This is the version with the white panda dial. You have the white dial with the black subdial for the chronograph. You have a big date at the 12 o'clock position. It is a Miyota, and I apologize, it is a Miyota 6S50 quartz chronograph movement. You have a sapphire crystal. The lugs on this watch are 22 millimeters, and it has a lug-to-lug of just about 51 millimeters. This is $2.99 inclusive of shipping from Armida.com. They ship FedEx, so basically you're looking at that's like a $50 charge, so you're looking at $250 and plus the shipping. So $2.99 is a great price. You get it on the vintage style bracelet, and you also get the Kuda Strap. This is the Armida tube that it comes in, which has the foam padding on the inside. Keeps it really secure in shipping. This is a newer one. They usually come in the black tubes. This is orange, so I guess they decided to use orange from now on. Let's take a look here at the dial. You do have a sapphire crystal. You can see you have drilled lugs for easy strap changing. I have not sized the bracelet as of this video. I have been wearing it on the Kuda Strap. Anybody that's not familiar either, Kuda Strap is basically as close as you're going to get to an isofrane style strap. Very comfortable, natural rubber, doesn't get any lint or dirt. So that is included with the watch as well. But I have not sized this as of yet. It has these rivet style screws. But make sure to check out the full review on WatchReport.com. The link will be in the description. And you can see my comments about how easy or maybe not so easy it is to size this bracelet. You have your dive clasp, which also has your dive extension. There is a look at the case back. The case back is like the same case back basically that I've seen on almost all the Armida watches. I think they've had about 12 models now so far. So I'll say one thing, I like this case back. I wish they would maybe change it up at this point. That's just personal opinion. You can see this bracelet also has folded end links. This is supposed to be, this watch is technically, like a vintage Rolex Paul Newman edition. So because of that, that is why you have the folded end links on here. And I understand, if you're doing something that is an homage to something that was vintage, they're trying to replicate it in certain ways, and in other ways they're trying to modernize it, like with the sapphire crystal and such. I would prefer solid end links. That's just me. Now, I will say that this doesn't really rattle or have a tinny feeling to the bracelet or the end links. I'm not a huge bracelet guy at this point, so I actually was wearing it on the on the Kuda Strap. I probably would have worn it more on the bracelet if it did have solid end links. And I know that sounds silly. That's just my personal opinion, but it really doesn't rattle, and they feel pretty good. They're pretty solid on there. Let me show real quick before I run the watch. Let me show real quick a shot on the wrist here. Like I said, I have not sized this bracelet, but there's a shot on the wrist. I have a 7.5-inch wrist. This is a 42mm case, and it is about 14 millimeters thick. So a very nice size. Let me take this off behind the camera. Easier to do it that way. You can take a look at the nice Kuda Strap and the tube while I'm doing this. There we go. Let's take a look at the dial. And let's run the chronograph here. See how that looks. No issues there. Obviously, this being a Miyota quartz, it's a little, the chronograph second hand is a little slower going back up to the start position, but this is a non-screw down crown. Now your first position will be your big date. You can see the wheel moving over when I do this, so it's not the most fluid big date, but we're also talking a watch at a price point of $299. You have your nice signed crown. And hopefully you could see in the video, I mean, the watch is finished very nicely. It has a nice brushing to the case. And I believe, I could be wrong, I believe this is the lowest priced Armida that they have currently produced. And I also believe that this is their first quartz. Now again, I could be wrong. I'm thinking off the top of my head. I don't remember any of their other models being quartz at this point in time. Of course, I'll double check on that. And I'll mention in the full review on watchreport.com if I was wrong. So I believe this is their lowest price model and also their first quartz movement. So it makes, here's an option for a lot of people that maybe, you couldn't afford any of the other Armidas at, $499, $599, $699, whatever model it was. Or you do prefer quartz. There are a lot of people that do prefer quartz movements. I don't find anything wrong with them. I think they have their place in anybody's collection. I have quartz movements. I have automatic movements. I like both, obviously, for different reasons. Quartz is great for grab and go. You don't have to worry about resetting it. You don't have to worry about having the watch on the winder. Usually quartz watches are, better, if they're dropped or if they're being banged around or whatever for physical activity than, say, most automatic movements would be. I mean, obviously these days automatic movements are, can take a lot more abuse, and especially, if they have a shock resistant system in there or whatever. But on the overall, less damage can happen to a quartz than automatic by being banged around or whatever. So there's a lot of reasons that people might, prefer this quartz movement. And again, at $299, I think that's a pretty good deal. I will say personally, this looks better to me in person than it did in the stock photos that they had on the website. It looked rather, I don't know, the dial seemed rather plain to me maybe. I think that was what it was. In person, I like it a lot better. Some people have stated they don't care for the big date, that it looks out of place. I personally like how it looks. I like a big date or a bigger date on a dial, because if I'm going to have a date on a watch, I want to be able to see it. If I can't see it, I don't need the date on the dial. To me, then it's useless. So I like the big date. This also comes with a black dial with the white subdials, and for each variation, you have the choice between the stainless bezel like you see here, or a black PVD bezel. I thought this was the cleanest looking version. For me personally, the black bezel on this was a little too much, so I like the way this one looked. So there is your look at the Armida A-10 chronograph. Please check out the full review at watchreport.com. You will see loom shots, more wrist shots, a lot more photos, and it will be my updated thoughts and comments on how I feel about this watch overall in general. Please leave a like or a comment here on the Watch Report YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, please do so. You'll never miss a review that way. This has been Don Evans for watchreport.com. Thank you very much for taking a look at our video.